my bed, the scene from my head.
Hi, welcome to the third episode of Beav Art Talks. If you haven't listened to them before, I did the first episode with Barry J. Davis, who's a street pop artist with funny twists in his work. And there's also Lucy Mitchell, who was the second podcast, and she does punk and alias. She's known as Mothers Was Wrong. And today I am with Richard Tait, who I met when I booked up some time in the studio at Art and we formed a good friendship from there, and it's been great to know this guy. I'm really proud he's come on to the show today, and I really appreciate it. To start off the podcast, I would love to ask you, how did you start in art, and what was your first experience in becoming an artist?
So I can go back to when I was 4 years old, and I didn't want to go into school. Don't know why. Something was scaring me, and I think my mum took a picture of an ice cream van
Right.
that I'd drawn. She thought it was really good for a 4-year-old,
Really?
4.5-year-old, whatever I was. And she showed it to the teachers or the headmistress, and all I remember is, I don't know if it's my first day at school, but I always think it was. I was led into a room where there was an easel that had two sides.
Right.
So a piece of paper on this side, a piece of paper on this side, and I'm sure there was another boy called Richard, and we both were able to stand either side of this easel and paint quite freely.
Right.
And I think up to that point, all my painting or drawing, any artwork I did, was looking down horizontally on the table, and suddenly I had this situation where I was like this, and I seemed to think that I painted 4 trees, and don't know, that cemented it for me. That was it. I loved it.
Why trees?
Don't know, probably the school gave it to me, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But I just remember doing that.
Daniel LaRusso style.
Yeah, maybe.
So I've been researching a lot of your art since we've met, and
You might know more than me at the moment.
you what?
You might know more than me right now.
But I mean, I find you have a penchant for landscapes rather than painting portraits. Why do you favour landscapes? Or is there no reason? It's just naturally you're drawn to that?
That's a really good question, because like at the essence I would say I'm more naturally drawn towards people, and I always really enjoyed doing pencil portraits of people.
Right.
Whether they were walking past me in the street or sitting opposite me on a train or posing for me. That was my favourite kind of drawing. I felt like I was locked into something that I really enjoyed. I think what happened when I got a studio in London, in Whitechapel, I had to put a bit of a business hat on and think, what will people potentially buy? And I looked around and I saw the skyline, like the square mile.
And to be honest, people want
when
that.
you say landscapes, I did urban landscapes for
Yeah, they're beautiful.
the whole time I lived in London. And I moved out of London, I mean really 3.5 years ago. So.
But when you look at your landscapes, when you look up close, they're quite abstract. But when you stand back, you know what it is. And it is, because you do a lot of daytime and nighttime of the same image. You do a mix of...
Have done, yeah.
Yeah, and you've also done like some sort of triptych ones as well. Or...
Yeah, some.
And they're massive. They're big scale paintings as well, some of them. Do you make up your own canvases?
I prefer to, so I think I always had this concern that people would think I was trying to paint big to show off how big I could paint, but I just painting a skyline of London, and it's so just like vast and expansive and ever changing, and you seem to need to look up wherever you are. It needed to be bigger than me.
Yeah.
So I wanted the feeling that when I was painting, I was inside the picture. I'd entered the painting, and I wasn't just in front of it making it.
Yeah.
I was in it, and then I was going to come out when it was finished, and that happened completely by accident. And I realised one day that's probably why they were that scale.
So you immerse yourself into the painting then that way. When
Maybe.
for the viewer, you're immersed into that because you can see, you see those skylines all the time, whether it's on TV or in person. But seeing the skyline as a painting, I can see why you would want to paint that, because that is a very cool thing that people would want to have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Lincolnshire, and it's different. It's there's a little strip of detail at the bottom. The rest is sky.
A lot of countryside. So.
And then I think I went to London when I was 9 or something.
Oh wow!
Probably made an impression, and then I came down to do my degree at Kingston. And my studio was, I say was because I rented it there for a few years. It was on the edge of the square mile, so
Yeah.
financial district. I could walk into it in 5 or 10 minutes, and that's like
perfect.
the gherkin and
The walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie. Shard was on the other side of the bridge, so yeah, it was visible out the window. It's just there on the doorstep. So
amazing. Oh, that's perfect.
it was then, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, man, that's cool. So did you fall in love with London and that's why you stayed there, or did you it just felt the best place to be at that time?
I think it was a good subject. As for someone who decided to take on the challenge of doing urban landscapes, it was there's obviously all the history, which I read about a lot, but then it would change. I remember feeling like I'd come full circle when I think it was number 20 Fenchurch Street. It was a Dresdner Kleinwort Benson tower block that was in the first ever sort of 7-foot skyline canvas I did of London, was demolished and replaced by the walkie-talkie. Same footprint, same location. And I thought, something like a cycle's been completed, because I can paint this exact same scene again, but the building's completely different. And then, but the channels, the little roads, Ironmonger Lane, Chancery Lane, New Change, Poultry, all these roads, they haven't changed for, 1,000 years.
Right.
But the footprint's the same. The skeleton of the road map is the same, but the buildings are constantly evolving. And that, I don't know if I fell in love with it, maybe, but it was a good topic, because it by the time I'd finished a batch of pictures, something else was happening architecturally that was exciting, and I got really into that. I did get into that.
And did you paint these plein air, or did you take photos and take them back to your studio?
I always wanted to paint them plein air. I had this
dream. It's so much harder, isn't it? It's so hard.
Some of the canvases are 8 foot, 9 foot, but at one point I thought I could buy an old glazier's van. The kind that has like this waffle kind of
I know
frame on the side, huge sheets of glass. And I thought I could put massive canvases on that, drive around, and maybe get a high vis and just park on London Bridge and paint there. But no, I'd walk around, because I was so close. I could walk out with a sketchbook or a pocketbook and just make some sketches, and I never minded tracing something that I'd drawn in the first place.
Right.
So I would project my own drawing and make a big version of it, and then colour it in.
Cool. And what sort of tools or mediums do you use? What's your favourite type of paint then? Sorry.
I like the whole process of working with the materials, of building a stretcher or making a panel on a frame, and then it's a long process I could talk about, and then stretching the canvas, priming it, sizing it, and the whole thing to getting it ready. It was a nice excuse to spend a long time thinking about what I was going to do when it was ready.
Right.
So if it was ready immediately, I might have been lost for ideas. But because there's this process of making the whole 8-foot canvas, and I'd have 10 of them.
That's massive.
Yeah, I would make my own, and then so I'm quite impatient when I paint sometimes. Initially, everything's fast at the beginning, so
you're like me.
It's like a workout. It's like I'm literally dripping with sweat and dropping things and knocking into a chair and kind of being clumsy and
torturing yourself.
Using a wallpaper pasting brush with a hole cut in it for a handle, and just kind of blending the skies. And I would do that. So I would work in acrylic first. Do lots of fine misty layers.
Nice.
Because it's quick and it dries quick, and it can be fast, and I can be impatient at the beginning, and then slow down with the sketching. Like when I say drawing, I mean drawing with a paintbrush. And then when I really want to commit, then I come in with oil paint, and I'm kind of really committing to.
And do you do oil paint on top of the acrylic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So acrylic's the ground, and oil paint goes on top. And what's the expression? Fat over lean. You just get thicker as you go along and build up.
Do you get frustrated with the oil though, because it just never dries, and or are you just fine with it?
Never. Only once when I was impatient and I varnished painting too soon. So it takes 6 to 12 months to dry.
Wow. Yeah. And see, I prefer acrylic in that aspect, because then you're done. By the end of the day, it's all done. And, you can wrap it up and send it to a gallery or put it up for exhibition and stuff.
I like that too. But oil's different.
Yeah, because you can keep going back. If you're not happy with something, you can rearrange it and change it. So that it has that playful ability with it, because of it takes so long to dry. But like you, in the beginning, I am very impatient. Like after about 4 hours, I'm done with that paint. I don't want to look at it again. And maybe come back to it if I know there's too many things that need to be done. But
I think when I start, I just can't wait to see what it's going to look like when it's finished.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ridiculous, but
it's not. No.
I have this whole thing in my head where I've seen it so many times, no one else has, and I want to put that down so I can share it. And when I start, I'm kind of rushing towards that.
Right.
But as I'm rushing towards it, I realise you can't rush after a certain while. You have to kind of control it.
Do you ever look at it from different angles, or start working on something else and then come back to it so your eyes are fresh again on it?
Always, yeah. I remember another ridiculous story. I had 8 easels and I set them up in my studio like an octagon.
That's amazing.
I had 48 canvases, and I remember I numbered the canvases on the back, and I started 48 paintings in a session.
Flair.
And this is not supposed to sound impressive or showy, or it's just...
No, it sounds like torture, mate.
It
Torturing yourself.
was like a dance.
Oh my gosh.
It was, I don't know. I did a residency where I made 42 paintings in 7.5 weeks. And then 3 of them didn't work out, so I smashed them up and didn't put them in the show. But I had a good exhibition, a good solo show.
Nice. What, like, you literally smashed them up, or you just paint over them, or was it just because of like the frustration with it, or?
I can't remember clearly my feelings, but I broke them to pieces and put them in the bin.
Oh no!
I felt like the right thing to do.
But there is, like, because you put so much, like, I don't know. Oh, sorry about that. I just did a little. Sorry, we've had a few sherbets. We've been down a pub, so yeah, that's why I'm kind of a bit gassy.
I've had 2.
Yeah. What was I saying?
You were trying to understand whether or not I'd smashed them up.
Yeah. So I can understand it, but purely because when you're creating art, you're releasing a lot of passion, and there's a love for it, isn't it? That you don't want to create something because it's your own legacy you're leaving behind with it. So you don't want to create something that's going to be under par of what you feel is good enough for yourself. So I can understand why you'd want to get rid of it, because there's certain canvases that I've painted on and I've just gone, nah, I'm just going to put whitewash it.
Some you can upcycle or reuse or paint over, but I go through a stack of life drawings and just tear up the ones that it's like brutal yes, no, charity shop, and then just tear them up. And it's the same with the canvas, but for these there was no further use. I might have, if I remember right, 2 or 3 of them I might have already they might have had previous things on them, paintings that and I don't know, maybe it needed to be final for those 3 to kind of brutally whittle it down so that the show, so I feel more confident about the show that I was putting on at that time.
Fair enough, yeah. And I know I've done that in the past, where I was carrying all of my college folders of work from place to place I was living, and I was like, why am I don't even look in them, I was just carrying them from place to place. And then in the last place I lived, I just went through them all and just destroyed stuff. Pretty much 90% of it was destroyed. So I thought, I'm just not going to look at it. I don't want to leave it behind and whatnot. And I thought, the 10% of it I kept because I thought, I like those. But the rest of it I was like...
I remember when I lived in London, the amount of times I would be like the weirdo on the tube who had some kind of wheelie trolley with a whole load of gaffer tape and string and a stack of canvases.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, a couple of times where it
just
was questioned whether or not I could bring what I was bringing onto the tube carriage or through the station barriers, because the guys were like, what does that measure? Like, they would, I was always like taking things. I mean, I did crazy. Rent vans sometimes. I would moving big canvases around. Then I had a friend who said he always used to paint big, and he went small one day, and he took his exhibition to the gallery in his inside jacket pocket. And I thought, that's a good idea. I haven't done that yet. But,
So what of your work means? Is there any piece that means a lot to you? Something that's so you love the most, or you've put so much.
Straight away, a few quick answers. Straight away, a few. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First one I ever sold. One that my cousin commissioned to me, which was really kind of her at the time. One that I miss. So the first one I ever sold, I was at Kingston University, arranged a show for second degree painters. Somehow we managed to get a gallery in Waterloo,
right, to
show our work, and one of my student friends, his uncle, printed the posters. So we had this solo show, this group show. I walked in, my painting was on the back wall. I walked up to it, and I was checking to see if it was level, and there was a red spot on the price. I didn't know what that meant.
First exhibition, why would you know? Yeah.
I was a second year student, and then I looked, and just as I was about to say, like, what's the red sticker for? I heard this accent over my shoulder say, I just bought your painting, it's wonderful. And this Viennese collector had bought my painting.
Amazing.
And that was a great feeling.
Yeah.
So that one was special.
And knowing the buyer as well, seeing the buyer.
Yeah.
That's definitely good.
So we had a chat about the painting, what was behind it and everything. It was a triptych. Second one, I think I was maybe 17, and had a cousin who was really into art, and she commissioned a painting that was special to her for where she lived. And the third one I mentioned, I had an exhibition in ING Bank on London Wall.
Weird.
On the 5th floor.
Weird. A
Smart.
bank. It's good.
Sold one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely good for the selling. Yeah, I'm not knocking in any way, but it's weird that it was in a bank.
I thought it was great.
How did that exhibition come up? Was it just kind of spontaneous
Trying to
thing?
remember, I met someone, I won't say the name, I met someone in the bank who was something to do with the charity I was working for.
Okay.
And she saw my work and said, you know, we sometimes invite artists to take over the 5th floor and have an exhibition. Would you be interested in that? And I said, yes, please, straight away. Had a big show. And one of the bankers bought a painting that I had done of the gherkin during construction.
Oh, cool.
So it was 3/4 finished. And it
Still
was just...
scaffolding and stuff as well on it, or?
there was a scaffold tower with a lift. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was an experiment for me because I'd used gold leaf to represent sun. I don't know if I'll describe this well. So when sunlight hits glass and it really bounces and blinds you, when it really
you kind of have
dazzles
to look
you.
away, sort of, because it's.
So I'd done an experiment that I didn't read about anywhere, but I put some red paint down, and I knew you underpaint gold leaf with red to make it warm.
Didn't know that.
So I put the gold leaf on, and then when it dried, I put some Kremnitz white, and I blurred the edges, and I put some other blobs of Kremnitz white on to give the effect of that intense bounce of light you get.
Nice.
And it was an experiment that worked, and I was really pleased with it. So I was super pleased that somebody bought it, and then when it went, and sometimes still now, it's one painting that I think, that was really successful. I'd like to see it again. Because there's ones that I don't miss, and ones that I couldn't wait to see the back of.
Do you ever keep a record of the stuff, you know, like photos and stuff, so you can remember?
Yeah,
them?
I've got all of those. I'm not great at cataloguing stuff sometimes, but I've got them.
Have you ever had like any strange or funny feedback from any of your paintings or commissions or exhibitions? You've probably got a load of cool stories. I know you have, because like we've talked loads.
I feel like you're asking about one in particular.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna. No, we don't have to go there. We can go for like.
I won't name drop. A musician who's well known was at my solo show and looked at my work and told me I had a hole in my soul. I don't know why.
That's horrible. Horrible to say.
I didn't mind, but it was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that. Nah, I actually wasn't asking for that story. I was just kind of.
Oh, I thought
if
you
you
were
have
angling.
others,
No. Juicy there.
Have you ever had any strange commissions before?
Oh, so going back a little bit earlier, you asked about being driven by portraits or landscapes.
Or landscapes. Yeah.
Okay, so it never came to fruition, but I was commissioned initially. I had conversations, I had interviews and everything with a really successful doctor who was interested in a portrait of him, but no visual representation of his physical appearance.
Okay.
Not for any reason that there would be, that he wouldn't want that, you know. He just wanted, I don't know what to call it, a psychological portrait, a different kind of profile than...
More on his personality side of things rather than him?
Everything. Spiritual. I remember going and sitting and interviewing him and recording, asking him questions and recording the answers and kind of making sketches, but not sketching from his physical appearance. And it was...
That's got to be hard.
I liked the challenge because it was unusual. I really wanted to satisfy whatever vision he had.
Right.
I can't remember how it didn't. It kind of petered out somehow. I was really excited about it. Can't remember where it kind of drifted off, but they don't all work out, and it was a nice lesson. No regrets. It was good. I enjoyed the part of the journey that we went on together, but there was no painting in the end. But
Really?
I always wonder, like, how would you do a portrait of someone without looking at them?
That's the hardest commission ever. How would
Maybe
you?
that's why I welcomed it to like a challenge.
No, that's good. I like that you've challenged yourself. You push yourself, and that is the place to be. You know, as even David Bowie said, you know, out of your comfort zone is where you're meant to be to create your best work. So I like that. I like that you do that. You push yourself out of your comfort zone and make a challenge for yourself.
Yeah.
So what have you got? Anything you're working on at the moment, or anything you're planning to work on at the moment?
Truthfully, I'll just say my new painting studio.
Oh my
So,
gosh! Oh no, I've heard about
yeah.
this. But you challenge yourself. That's a challenge in another way, because when you used to live in London,
Yeah.
was it Croydon? Yeah. You built your own studio in your garden then,
Mm-hmm.
and now you've moved into East Sussex. You've built another own studio.
Builders made the timber frame. Me and my wife have done the rest.
That's incredible. And I've seen like the stages of what you've shown me. It's absolutely incredible. That
See it now,
why
it's
would you
nearly
put
there.
yourself through all that torture? Do you love the fact that it's something you've learnt and thought, I'm going to just do it myself? What makes you do these things? Like building your own studio, which is a massive thing to do. It's incredible.
I don't know. Maybe if I didn't think I could draw half decent, I'd be a builder. I don't know. No, I like working with resistant materials. So honestly, I don't differentiate between building a brick wall and rendering it
Yeah.
and stretching the canvas and sizing and priming it, because you have to follow materials and behaviours in materials and methods and processes, and if you don't get things in the right order, or you don't make the ingredients correctly, it's going to blister, or it's going to pop off, or it's going to bloom, or something's going to go wrong. And I don't differentiate, because it's materials and processes and techniques and tried and tested sort of traditions. And so I guess, mixing concrete, mixing paint. I haven't switched. It's just I'm quite happy to realise the vision that we wanted for the studio.
That's really cool.
And that's the other thing. So when you have hand-eye coordination, the correlation between them when you're sort of painting and drawing, that communication that you strengthen between your hands I just feel like there are tiny brains in my hands, because I'm definitely a kinesthetic learner.
Amazing, yeah.
And
it's good that you're aware of it as well.
Massively. And I'll learn something by doing it. And if you say, what about doing this? And I've never done it before, so let me try. And that's how I'll do it. So
it's the best way of learning, isn't it? Just being hands-on.
I won't list the things, but it's a lot of stuff involving jackhammers and cement mixers and things like that. But they're now slowly going out the door, because they're being sold, because their jobs have served their purpose. And the studio's almost ready, and it's back to painting soon.
How long's it taken you?
A year since the builders stopped. But
wow.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a big space.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've done it that quick.
That's not quick.
But
it's quick for the family and a full-time job.
Yeah. I remember you telling me like you'd be getting up early in the morning to mix some cement and stuff. I'm like, what? That is crazy. For your kids to go off to school and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, fair play. Very, very good.
But it's like going to the gym and achieving something at the same time, because it's a workout and you have a personal result.
Yeah, and if you don't push yourself, then you're not gonna get the greatness that you achieve in life, and that's the best way of doing it.
I think it's all about. I don't know if I like the word perfectionist, but it's about going for a finish. Like that sort of grand gesture at the end when you kind of step back and go, yes, it's done.
Are you proud of what you've done, though? Are you happy with it?
The studio thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Looks great. Really happy. Can't wait to get in there and mess it up and use it.
One thing, like, I mean, I don't. This could be with anything. It could be with building your studio or your art. But how much of your personal life ends up in your art, or how much of you ends up in what you create in life, or is it just Do you know what I mean? Is it just like you're just doing it because you have this vision, I'm going to do that, or is there something personally that you have that kind of touch to it that you want of your personal self into that work? It could be, it could be anything of yourself in that piece of work.
I mean, I think I like to finesse things to the point where I'm proud of them. So, yeah, I like teaching myself things. But the instinct comes from watching my dad do all of it, anything that needed doing to it, like an extension, knocking walls down, digging foundations. But like I watched him do that. I watched him build a studio in his garden and take up painting.
Oh, so your dad's an artist as well?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
But he did some art for a while. Sorry,
not to the standard of like professionalism then. Or...
I'm not going to compare it to anything. He had a healthy interest in art, and he built a studio at the end of his garden. But I'm trying to say, like, just the mindset of I would like that. I will learn how to do it, and I will do that and put it there.
I love that.
So that kind of maybe it's an old-fashioned mentality. I don't know, but I have it now. I can't do anything with a car engine. I've never changed a car tire, but
it's what you're enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
So if you have a passion for it, then you're gonna do the whole hog for it, rather than I don't know what goes under a car. I just know how to get it to work and fill it up with petrol. That's it.
I can construct a roof or a brick wall or render it.
But then that's something more that you're into. So that's cool. It's like it's what you favour, isn't it?
There's resistant materials, and honestly, like things like plastering, so beautiful when you get it smooth and shiny and.
I did some plastering once. A friend of mine was a plasterer, and I went and helped him do some plastering for a day on a building site. It's fucking hard work. So you see a lot of plasterers with like one really big arm. But it's hard work. It's hard.
I can tell you when you did it.
No, I haven't. But I know like the part it's going on quite a bit. But I really enjoy our conversation. You'll have to come back on again. But I always want to end it with a positive sort of thing, passing it forward for any. What advice would you give any artists out there who's struggling or who really is at a point where they're just not sure what direction they should be going in or how they feel about their art? It could be anything. Any sort of advice you would give to somebody.
I'll pass on some advice that was given to me not that long ago. And this artist, she said, pick your 10 favourite works of art in the world ever.
Right.
Look at them all. Work out what it is you like about them. How that relates to you in your practice. And something like how you would translate that into your creative language and share that with whoever, with the world. The whole world.
Amazing.
I don't know, that's one thing.
That's really cool.
I don't know, what else would he say?
No, that's a good thing.
Tracy Emin said a good one. She said something, if you always have a camera, a pencil and a book, you'll never lose an idea. I mean, everyone has a camera in their pocket now because of phones.
Yeah, that's true.
But a pencil and a book, if you're somewhere and something pops into your head and you think you might lose it, and it's not something you can really say or write, you can just express it with a pencil. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'd probably give one third and final one, something about there's a really good one that came from someone else. They're all filtered through other people.
but that's
something
but there's sound advice that hold on. The test of time it carries on. So they're going to be sound advice for people.
It's something like
Who may never have heard it. I
all
guess.
of the stories have been told apart from yours. So when you're making your art, writing your poetry, do whatever it is you do, making your music, make it personal and tell it through your eyes, through your experience, and tell your story. And that's the right way to go, because you're the only person that can do that.
I love that. That one's my favourite out of them. I think that's amazing. It definitely has to be the personal touch. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast today. I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate it, mate. That's so good. I will put Richard's links in the episodes below the videos and stuff, so you can see his art and check him out and see and follow him for any up and coming up exhibitions that he has when he starts getting out there.
That's putting pressure on, but that's
No,
that's good. There'll be some soon.
Yeah, amazing.
One or two.
But thank you.
No,
really appreciate it.
thank you
No,
too.
I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. No,
Thank
it's
you.
cool. We'll see you next episode. Bye.